Today I'm making the world's smallest versus the world's largest squishy dumplings. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with fidget toys. I'm a huge collector of them, specifically squishies. What I really want is a gigantic dumpling and a tiny pipsqueak dumpling. I can't seem to find them anywhere, so I'm making my own. My goal is to recreate this viral dumpling, but on the world's tiniest and world's largest scale. And I'm gonna make them the rare rainbow dumplings. Let's cut this dumpling open and see what's inside. I've never cut open one of these before, so I'm really curious to see the insides. Dumplings have all sorts of fillings inside. Some are filled with slime, some are filled with clay. I've even heard of dumplings that are filled with pork. This one looks like it's filled with some sort of shaving cream. This might be clay, but usually I think dumplings are filled with slime. So I'll be filling my tiny and giant dumplings with tons of homemade slime. This is gonna be one crazy experiment. To pull this off, I'm gonna need a lot of materials, and I'm gonna need a lot of slime. I decided to take a trip to my old stomping grounds, Walmart. Here's the plan. First thing we're gonna need is some Elmer's glue. Lots of glue. Gallons of glue. We've got a couple options. Should I make clear slime or opaque slime? I'll tell you what, I'll surprise you. What really matters is the food coloring. I want to make my slime pink. I'm feeling pretty today. Pretty in pink. Unfortunately, someone recognized me in Walmart. Yes, that was me, by the way. Nice to meet you. So I had to quickly run out. We have
everything you need
to make copious amounts of slime, except for the most important part, the outer skin sac for my dumplings.
Yeah, boy.
I bought this giant groovy wubble bubble ball some time back. It's a giant inflatable squishy. Looks like a bubble, plays like a ball. I think this is made of the same kind of material as the dumplings, so I feel like this might just work. Looks like a big boob. Bruh. I want to make my tiny and giant dumplings as realistic as possible. The face, the blush, the squishiness. Everything. I'm really looking forward to this. New levels of squishy. I've dabbled in slime quite a bit, but never on this large of a scale. I'm gonna try to make as much slime as possible. Tons and tons of glue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I think I also need to add some baking soda. Though I don't know how much, especially for this giant batch of slime. I'll just throw in a tablespoon or two and we'll just hope for the best. Hopefully this works. I don't know how much food coloring I need to turn this giant slime pink. We'll start off with a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need much more. I'm gonna just dump the whole bottle in here. Give it a good swirl. Alright, now time for the activator. I found some contact lens solution in the bathroom cabinet. I don't know whose this is, because I don't wear contacts, but it makes a great activator, so I'm using all of it.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
Now I gotta mix all this nasty together. A spoon isn't cutting it. I have to go in with my bare hands. Hopefully it comes together because I didn't do any exact measurements or anything, so I might have to troubleshoot this. We'll just see. Taking it one day at a time. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. Maybe I did something wrong, because this isn't really what it's supposed to feel like. What I need for my slime is one of those big stand mixers. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I'm gonna cosplay as one. After a couple hours, here's where I've gotten so far. This is really taking the wind out of me. I actually feel like this might not be enough slime. I need more. Much more. You know what? This is gonna take forever. I have to pull out the big guns.
Wait. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions, each do what? RB.
So it's the next day and our slime is ready to go. It's like magic. It's the perfect texture. Here, I'll do a little ASMR for you. This is perfection. New levels of satisfaction have been unlocked. Remember that mystery dumpling I cut open earlier? Well, I'm gonna put those clay guts to good use by dumping them in here. This clay is really sticky, extra sticky, just like I like it. I'll have to find another use for the skin sac later. Oh, that feels nice on my toes. Now we're thinking on another level. Honestly, I feel horrible. I didn't want to have to cut them open, but it's for the video. What are you gonna do, you know? Before I fill my giant dumpling ball, I want to do a bit of ASMR. Can I make this slime pop? That's way too satisfying. Let's make a giant bubble. that's enough messing around. It's time to make the world's smallest and the world's largest dumplings, and then in the end I'll compare the sizes. For my world's largest dumpling skin sack, I'm using the Wubble Bubble Ball, and for the world's smallest dumpling, I'm gonna attempt to fill this tiny water balloon with a couple specks of slime, and then I'll have to try to draw the whole kawaii face using my stubby fingers. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see how this goes. I'm starting off on a smaller scale with our water balloon. So what I learned is you can just shove slime down the balloon. You kinda need something to hold it open, so I grabbed a funnel. I don't know if this funnel will work. I'm just kinda winging it here, figuring it out as I go. The problem is the bottom isn't wide enough to let the slime pass through. What a bummer. Huge setback. I have to rethink this whole situation. After an hour of thinking, I came up with a brilliant idea.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
I have this water bottle, right? Now it's empty.
Wow.
I'm cutting off the top. It's kind of a makeshift funnel with a wider mouth to get my slime in there. I'm hoping this will do the trick, but honestly I'm not sure. I don't need much slime since this is meant to be the world's tiniest dumpling. Here's the hard part, not that the rest is easy. I have to paint a face on this teeny tiny microscopic dumpling, and I don't really have the most delicate of fingers. This might not turn out to be the prettiest face, I don't know, but I'm making do. I'm trying my best. I gotta work with what I got, and this is what I got. What a disaster, but it'll have to do. I think I can do better. Here's my Wubble Bubble Ball. These things get huge. I'm blowing it up. Okay, so far so good. But now I'm not really sure how to get the slime in here. Like, do I create a separate opening? Should I cut a hole in it? Wouldn't that just destroy the whole Wubble Bubble Ball? Wubble Bubble Ball? I think that's what I have to do. I have to cut it open because look at how tiny this opening is. There's no way I can fit all this slime into here. I need to cut it into a bigger opening without breaking the Wubble Bubble Ball. Hopefully this works out for us. Here's my plan. I'm gonna shove this homemade budget funnel into here and just try to shove as much slime down as this will hold. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit all this slime into here. How long would that even take? This'll probably take hours, maybe even days. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I always do. I'll update you guys when I've made some progress.
One eternity later.
So at some point I abandoned the funnel. I'm just shoving the slime straight in there, down the tubes. It's not really a tube anymore, it's more of a giant gaping hole. But surprisingly, things are working out for me for once. I'm able to shove a ton of slime into this Wubble Bubble, and it hasn't ripped yet. It's amazing, I didn't think this would work. But let this be a lesson. Thou shalt never give up. I can't believe it, this is the biggest dumpling I've ever seen. I'm just gonna keep shoving slime in here. I think I'm setting a world record with this dumpling. Where's my award? This is exhausting. My arms feel like noodles. This is the best workout I've had in ages, and not in a good way. This thing is gigantic. Look at how much slime I was able to fit in this thing. I fit all the slime I made into here, including the dumpling guts of the one I regrettably slaughtered earlier. I can't just tie this closed. It's not possible. But look what else I found in the bathroom cabinet. A hair tie. What's this piece of junk doing here? I wonder who this belongs to. I can put this to good use. I don't have any rubber bands on hand, but I think this will do just fine. Actually, I'm getting kinda worried this isn't gonna be enough to hold it together. I don't want the slime to just leak out. I just don't think this will be enough. I need something stronger. Industrial strength. Luckily, I have plenty of zip ties laying around, just for this purpose. No other purposes. That's perfect. That's not going anywhere. It's really cool because it actually feels just like the dumpling. Like the texture and everything. I really didn't know how I'd get this slime into my dumplings. I didn't think this would work out, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, boy.
I found something in the kitchen cabinet. It's a real-life dumpling steamer. I'm gonna see if I can use this as a base for my giant squishy dumpling. On second thought, my dumpling is huge. Way too big. I don't want this giant dumpling to crush my bamboo steamer. Now that I have my giant squishy dumpling, it's time to do some art. I'm gonna paint this dumpling the prettiest, cutest, kawaiiest dumpling face you've ever seen. Or at least that's the goal. It didn't really work out so great on my tiny dumpling, but maybe I can redeem myself on this much bigger surface. I'm giving her some black, soulless eyes. She's got the simplest of mouths. It's just a U. Her mouth is honestly where her nose should be. Maybe she's embarrassed about it. That's why she's blushing. This is just my own headcanon here. Can't forget the little twinkle in her eye. I'm all about size inclusivity. We've got tiny, we've got a regular sized, and now I have morbidly obese.
Oh my god.
She looks like one of those rare tie-dye dumplings, just much bigger and 100 times heavier. The world's biggest, most satisfying dumpling. So big, I think she might just pop, so I'm gonna put her down. And right next to her, you may not be able to see her, but I'll zoom in. This is my teeny tiny little creation. The world's tiniest squishy dumpling. So tiny I almost forgot about her.
Don't forget about me.